Hey everyone, hope y'all are doing okay. I want to start off this lecture by saying that I am super, super proud of all the work that everybody's been doing. I've been watching your persuasive speeches. They're very good. Y'all are making the best out of a bad situation, and I appreciate that. I know it's not easy, and I know some of y'all haven't gotten your speeches to me yet. It's fine. Don't panic. Everything's fine. We're fine. Just get it to me when you can. And I need to stop touching my face. And our next assignment is impromptu speaking. So that's obviously going to be a little bit different than it would be in class. And we're going to talk about how the impromptu speeches are going to work. So let's get into that. Sorry for the hat. I really, really need a haircut. I think we all really need haircuts right now. And let me show y'all my screen. Okay. There we go. So again, we are right here. I'm releasing this lecture on Wednesday, but we are on around the 23rd of April. We're getting into impromptu speaking. That's chapter 16. Don't forget the quizzes that are still on Canvas. I've pushed those all back to the end of the semester, but those can catch up on you, so make sure that you're staying on top of those. Also, make sure you're turning in your peer reviews. Yes, it says peer reviews on the schedule. Those are just peer evaluations. Make sure y'all turn those in as soon as you can. Again, ask me for extensions. A few of y'all have asked questions about how do you turn in a peer review? Just email them to me. If your teammates haven't submitted persuasive speeches to their team folder, there are persuasive speeches located on Canvas. So click on the persuasive speeches module, and there are sample speeches. So just evaluate at least 3 of those and turn those in. Let me know if you need an extension if Thursday is not doable. And thank you for those of y'all who have turned those in. So on the 28th of April, which is Tuesday, we are going to be having an impromptu speech workshop. And so usually what I would do in class is I would give y'all prompts and let you practice them in front of people. But instead what we have here, if you go to the schedule on Canvas, and the schedule is under the syllabus tab. So if you click on that, you'll see the updated schedule. You'll see this link for a topic generator. And you're gonna see in a minute, this is not quite what we're gonna be doing for impromptu speaking, but it gives you kind of a feel for it. So you're gonna click on that link, generate impromptu speech topics, and it's gonna give you a list of topics, and you can at least get into that mindset. So if that's something that you wanna practice on Thursday before your speech, then that's totally fine. You're welcome to do that on your own time. Sorry, Tuesday the 28th is when, you guys can do that whenever you want, but that's the official workshop day. So like I said, impromptu speaking is going to be a little bit different online. We're going to get into what impromptu speaking is and how we're going to modify things. So let's get started on that. So today we're going to go over chapter 16. We're going to talk about the speech requirements, the process, and the rubric. I have some sample prompts that y'all can check out on your own time, and then we will close with some reminders. So first of all, what is an impromptu speech? That's pretty important. An impromptu speech is a presentation that is delivered with very little or no time for advanced preparation. So if anyone's ever watched Whose Line Is It Anyway? Everyone in this class should have watched that because we played a clip from that show. It's where they just get a prompt and then they go up and just wing it. It can be very, very nerve-wracking for people just because of the lack of preparation. But if you think about it, most of our communication is impromptu. You know, when you're having a conversation with somebody, you don't have a script, you don't have an outline, you don't have sources you might have sources to cite if you're arguing with somebody, but you're not going to be super prepared to go into those situations. So impromptu speaking is actually a lot more common than we would think. So now when you're giving an impromptu speech, there are 3 different types of impromptu speeches. So the first is a speech that is dealing with subjects. It's when you're given a subject, you establish a central claim or an argument. It's the easiest way to give an impromptu speech. You can also be given an object. This is where you establish a central claim or argument about the object. Are we seeing a trend? And the object usually implies the subject. So you have to get a little bit creative there when you're dealing with an object. Dealing with quotations, again, you're given a quote, and then you establish a central claim or argument around that quote. So you make the meaning of the quote clear. So that one can be even more abstract. You can take it however you want, but these are the three main types of impromptu speaking, and your textbook really goes into these in great detail in chapter 16. But we are going to be dealing with subjects, objects, or quotations. And I will show you exactly what that means here in a minute. So when you are structuring an impromptu speech, there are three main ways that you can do it. You can divide it in terms of class. So this is where you subdivide the topic into separate categories or classes. So if your subject is the object of a cactus, you can talk about cacti, what they are, types of cacti, where to get them, what to do with them. Those are all examples of dividing a speech in terms of its structure. There's also the structure of unification. This is where separate functions of the speech operate as one entity. So if you're given a picture of a piece of art, you can take that piece of art and use that symbolism to unify it to your main claim. So for example, if you're given this piece of art as your topic, you can say art is undervalued, artists work long hours for low pay, art is not respected as other majors, art museums are not visited enough. So those are all evidence to your central claim of art being undervalued. So you're unifying all of that together. And then there's cause-effect solution. So if anyone did PCS for your persuasive speech, this one probably looks a little bit familiar. So for example, if you're given a picture of a light for your impromptu speech, you can address the cause of the problem of wasting electricity and using too much energy. So the cause of that is we're leaving on our lights and appliances. The effect is that it's hurting the environment, and the solution is to turn off unnecessary lights and appliances, which is really hard when you're in quarantine. But that's an example of impromptu speech. And so if you look at these pictures here, these are going to be the kinds of prompts that you are going to be receiving. So you're going to be given some kinds of pictures of objects, of subjects, of quotes, and you get to run with them. You get to do whatever you want to do. Just make sure you're sticking to one of those structures. A couple of quick tips for impromptu speaking. You want to make sure that you very clearly introduce and conclude your speech. So it's just like the persuasive speeches, just like the informative speeches, you want to have a strong introduction and a strong conclusion. And if you look at page 461 in your textbook, there is the instructor's evaluation for the impromptu presentation, and you'll see that those parts are all very clearly laid out. There's an introduction, there's a conclusion, and then as far as the support and the organization, there's also a body section in that rubric. So make sure you're hitting all those points as usual. And then you also want to consider your audience's knowledge. As always, when you're giving any kind of public address, you should know what your audience knows about the topic, so you're not speaking over their heads. So as far as logistics go, this is going to be a little bit different, and by a little bit different, I mean a lot different than the way we normally do impromptu speaking. So how this usually goes is that you have 2 to 3 minutes to prepare for your speech in the hall. We're blowing that out of the window. That's not going to happen. What I'm going to do is on the day of the impromptu speeches, which is next Thursday, I will send out an email with your prompt. So that's going to be the prompt for your impromptu speech. Everyone on Canvas is going to get it. You're going to see the email, and then you're going to have to give me your speech by the end of the day. Now, if for any reason you can't finish your impromptu speech by the end of the day, let me know, and I'll send you a separate prompt on a separate day. The department really, really wants us to make sure that we are doing as close to impromptu as possible. That's fine if you can't do it on Thursday for whatever reason. So yeah, just email me if that doesn't work, but that's how it's going to go. I will send you an email during class time with the prompt. You will prepare for your speech. And then as far as logistics go for speech preparation, again, make sure that you're referring to the rubric on page 461. There's a 2 to 3 minute time limit. So that's all you got to do. You have to figure out your structure, figure out what you want to do with your speech. Treat it like a job interview. Think about it like that. You know, like you kind of know what you're going to be getting into in a job interview. So you do some research, you sit down, and then a job interview is a lot of impromptu speaking as well. You just have more time to prepare than an impromptu speech, because with impromptu speaking, you get 2 or 3 minutes to prepare. With a job interview, you have more time. So treat this like a job interview. So again, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. When you record yourselves, you can upload that to Box. Again, you can email it to me, just get it to me however you can. If you have to voice record, if you have to upload it to YouTube, go ahead and do it. You guys were really, really, really good with your persuasive speeches, and I'm very, very pleased with the way that y'all got those to me. So just keep that up for the impromptu speech. As far as the speech structure, again, check out that rubric. Yeah, the how it works tab is completely different. So instead of showing you the pictures, on a slide like I usually do, I'm going to send you the picture, and you're going to do whatever you want to do with that. Just make sure that you're sticking to the impromptu patterns. That'll help keep you on track, and stick to the rubric as well. And this is just this is the instructor evaluation. This is how it looks in the textbook. So if y'all want to check this out on your own on PowerPoint, if you can't access the textbook, if you left your textbook in like on campus or something, it's also on this PowerPoint. This is exactly how it looks in the textbook as well. And this is an example of a prompt. So this is what it's going to look like if if you get a quote for your prompt. This is going to be what a quote as a subject looks like. So what you would do is you would read this, you would think about it, and you would structure your speech. Do you want to unify this with something? Do you want to categorize this? Do you want to do a problem cause solution? Or cause effect solution kind of speech for this, so be creative, be thinking of ways that you could pattern this. This is another example. So if you wanted to do a classification pattern, you could talk about types of beaches, Atlantic beaches versus Pacific beaches, maybe northern beaches versus southern beaches. If you wanted to do cause effect solution, you could talk about pollution, perhaps. You could talk about species going extinct, marine species going extinct. So be thinking about ways that you could structure your speeches, and again, refer back to that. Refer back to the topic generator, and also feel free to email me if you want me to send you a practice prompt, because I'm happy to do that. And then this is a video. I'm not going to make y'all watch this on your own, but this is a video of an actual impromptu speech if you want to check it out. And again, the impromptu speech workshop is going to take place during class time on Tuesday. So if y'all want to log on, if you want me to show you a prompt, then if you want to log on to Zoom and just give me an impromptu speech, if you really want to practice it, you can. Oh, that's for my other classes. And I don't think that's relevant anymore. So yeah, again, this is not ideal. This is not the way that we had planned to do this, but we're gonna make it work. So if y'all have any questions, as usual, just feel free to email me. I'm going to be on Zoom during class time tomorrow, so feel free to hop in there with any questions. You don't need any peer evaluations or anything like that for the impromptu speech. Keep working on your persuasive speeches if you haven't turned those in already. Again, no worries, no shame in asking for extensions. I've had to do that too. It's fine. We're all feeling this, and we're all gonna make it. So yeah, that's all I have for the impromptu speech. Again, please keep me posted if y'all need anything. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'm looking forward to finishing up your persuasive speeches. I'll have those done no later than next Wednesday, because I want to get those done before y'all start your impromptu speeches. All right, y'all. Let's see if I can I always mess this up. Okay, cool. All right. Again, reach out to me if y'all have any questions, and I will see you soon. Bye.